Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today we are diving into a really important topic, which is home fire safety. This one is a little close to home because someone we know recently experienced a fire in their condo. We are going to use that as a real life example to talk through what went right, what could have gone better, what all of us can learn from it. We'll cover simple things that you can do to protect your home, your family, and honestly, it's really going to save lives. Let's get into it. Sharing the dramatic story.
How your friend had a fire at was it her apartment?
It's a condo. She has a condo. There's 4 units in one building, 2 up top and 2 on the bottom. She's on the top. There's a bunch of these little buildings that have 4 condos each or whatever. There's like quarter in the middle, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of people around. There's a lot of risk of somebody else's apartment catching on fire.
For sure.
There's a lot of risk no matter what. Anywho, she has her adult daughter is living with her. They share a car, and so she was leaving, I think it was a Saturday morning because she wasn't working, to take her daughter to work to downtown. She threw the little dogs in the car. She's got 2 little dogs. Threw the dogs in the car, went to drop her daughter off. Because it was Saturday, she was like, maybe we'll go stop by the park and have a little walk. Maybe I'll pick up some breakfast, pick up a little breakfast sandwich, a tea, something like that. She just decided to go straight home. Thank God she did, because when she got home and she opened the front door, just a black smoke. Inside, she could hear that the smoke alarms were going off, but didn't hear them outside the building, or she didn't hear it as she was approaching the house. That feels concerning to me. How loud are our smoke alarms? And none of the neighbors, nobody came out, nobody had noticed that something was happening. Her sister lives below her. They have a house somewhere else, so I don't know if they were home at the time that it happened or not. Black smoke pouring out. She was gone for probably under half an hour, 20 to 30 minutes, I would say, to do that round trip. Basically, it's the kind of place, the layout, you open the door, you sort of have like a great room. Then a kitchen off to the side, it's all open, like the kitchen, it's like a little L shape. Between the kitchen and where the living room is, there's a hallway. You have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. They had, the 2 bedroom doors were closed, so those rooms had much less damage than the rest of the house. Kitchen is basically destroyed. The cupboards, everything was gone. All the appliances are unusable. First of all, so you have the smoke and fire damage, and you have the water damage, and the other damage from putting out the fire. So lots of, family heirloom type things, cabinets and bookshelves and things that her dad had built.
No.
That they don't know if they're going to be able to restore and recover those. So just a freaking nightmare. The 2 things she was really grateful about, number 1 thing she was really grateful about, is that she took the dogs with her. Because she doesn't always take the dogs. She usually takes the dogs. There are times when she's just like, let's not even bother getting the dogs in and out of the car. The dogs would not have survived if they'd been in there with that smoke. Thank God that, because they're little tiny babies. I don't think it matters that much time with smoke like that. I don't think it would have worked. The second thing that she was grateful for was that those bedroom doors were closed. I love closing those bedroom doors was very good. The bathroom door was not closed, so there was extra damage in the bathroom, which is at the very opposite end. One thing that she did tell me, in the bedroom, in a drawer in the bedroom, she had all of her important documents, like birth certificates and passports and all those kinds of things. She's like, thank goodness they were in the bedroom where I shut the door, and they were all fine. And then I was like, let's take it one step further and put those in a fireproof safe for next time, because they're at risk, regardless of that door being closed or not. If there are things that are going to be really difficult for you to replace, they're very important. I do recommend putting them in a fireproof something, a fireproof safe, a fireproof box. There's all kinds of, and those are usually going to be waterproof as well. Any kind of like natural or I guess man-made hazard that could come into your home and destroy these really important things, fireproof safe is really important. I know people that have certificates of things that I don't have that like mature. You could cash them in for like $50,000 later. They just hold on to them. They have them at their house. They're not in like a safety deposit box. They do keep those in a fireproof thing. Even if it's not that, even if it's not equal to money, having it be in a fireproof something or other is going to be a better choice. That's another extra thing that could help, or that I would recommend, obviously.
And she said she didn't hear the alarm either.
No, this just makes me wonder about. I was like, did neighbors notice anything? Like, how long was that fire alarm going on? How long was that burning or smoking before she got home? That black smoke poured out of her apartment. I don't really know. Do you know what I mean? But I always feel more safe when I live in a communal building to some degree because you feel like there's just help closer by. We had a house fire again 30 some odd years ago when I was married. My ex-husband had knocked a knob on the stove during Christmas. Packages were being delivered from the grandparents and stuff. Sat it on the stove, not smart. Knocked it. He went up to take a shower. By the time he got out of the shower, the kitchen was on fire. The smoke was going. So this was in under 15 minutes. It was a huge kitchen. The fire was sort of like on this one end of it. It was so strong. The heat was so much that the blinds were melted across
Oh,
the
wow.
window. But we were in a brick house, an older house, neighbors reasonably close. They couldn't hear anything unless they saw smoke coming out. Neighbors would not have been able to call for help.
You really have to have a plan because some people can sleep through anything. I might be one of those people. One time, my boyfriend and I were staying over at his mom's house. She has this great fireplace. We lit a fire and then went to bed. Somebody, I won't name names, did the wrong thing with the doors. So it was not venting properly. There was something going on with the fire venting of the fireplace. Smoke started to fill into the room, but it was this big, great room. It took a while, I guess, for the smoke to really come in. The fire alarm eventually went off, and I slept through it. Actually, I think I woke up and was really groggy and was like, someone's gonna shake me awake if this is serious. If it's not serious.
No.
This was probably my Safewise career.
That's okay. None of us are born safety minded.
Yeah, it was apparently really scary because you walked into the living room and just boom, there's all this smoke. My boyfriend was able to open a bunch of doors and get it aired out. It wasn't anything. There was no active fire. It was just a lot of smoke. That can be dangerous too. Yeah, I have to have a talk with myself about you got to get up. I did the same thing with tornado sirens. I'm bad.
I do too.
I can't sleep through anything, even silence. That's kind of a gift that you can sleep at least.
If you have kids and stuff, you need to have a talk with them about when you hear this sound, it's go time. Don't sit there and think, my pillow is so comfy. No. Wait for someone to come get you.
Great advice.
I woke up the other morning and my smoke alarm was going off. What the heck?
What?
I'm trying to go through the house. I notice there's no smoke. The door's not hot. I leave the bedroom and I go into the kitchen. That's where the smoke alarm that's going off is. I smell something that smells like burnt lasagna. I go over to my stove. It's warm. It's not turned on. It's warm. I guess it was heating up the stuff that was. I needed to clean my oven. It was heating up the stuff in the bottom of the oven and making just enough smoke to set off my smoke alarm. I have so many problems with ovens. Like one set on fire a few months ago and had to replace it. This is the replacement oven.
Do you have electric or gas?
Electric. What the deal
I
is.
feel bad about not cleaning it because the same thing happened to us one time. Just in the little pan under your stove, the burner coils and stuff, the little catch pan. There was stuff in it. We took a pot off the burner temporarily to fill it with water or something. In that short amount of time, the burner was still hot, but it had nowhere for the heat to go. So it just put down into all the junk. It caught fire. And that's the one time I've had to use a fire extinguisher in my house to put that out.
How did it go? Did you feel comfortable? Did you know how to use the fire extinguisher?
No, it was not intuitive because I hadn't practiced.
I'm fanatical about cleaning out the lint from the dryer. When I moved in with my adult children, this was in 2020, COVID situation, his wife, God love her, she has ADHD. Knowing that about her helps understand. She's like, you just can't ask me to do something and I'll remember it every time. I'll walk into the other room and forget. And it's not an excuse, but she just sort of had to teach us how her brain works. So I made up big signs everywhere. Stop! Did you check the lint dryer? All over the dryer and the laundry room. She would just keep forgetting to do it and it would build up. When my son, something was in the dryer, he's like, oh, Mom, does it smell like something's burning to you? It doesn't smell good. And I said, yeah, stop the dryer. And it was like, there was kind of like smoking. It looked like something bad was about to happen there. I'm like, unplug the dryer. We called a dryer tech repair person or whatever to come and check it out. He was like, this is like terrible. It was so, even after he got all the lint out that was going all the way through the ventilation outside the house, outside the building, there was stuff all the way through. He pulled out the screen thing. He's like, when's the last time you cleaned the screen? I said, I clean it out every time I do the laundry. He goes, that's not cleaning it. That's just removing the lint. The lint, if you use fabric softeners and things like that, it coats that little fine mesh that's in there and it's not breathing. That adds to the buildup and the likelihood of a fire. He says once a month at least, just wash that screen with soap and water, let it dry, and put it back in. He did a demonstration. We do have a short or a TikTok about this where he showed the water. He poured water. It's a mesh screen. The water did not go through it. He scrubbed it and then the water went through it. If water cannot get through that, air cannot get through that. That is a fire hazard. Your mom is not wrong with her advice.
No, yeah. she's on it. She also moved into a new house and noticed that her laundry was not drying very well. Her first thought was that it was something to do with what you said, like lint buildup in the tube that goes to the outdoors. She went investigating. That tube actually ended up being seriously long. I got called over to do the dirty work. So I was able to stick my hand up there and just pull out gobs and gobs and gobs of lint. Then we got this special little tool thing to get in there and really whisk it out. It was just astonishing how much lint came out. I was like, you were living on the edge here. Previous homeowners were living on the edge. So if your clothes are not drying as well as they usually are, that could be a sign that something is amiss with the lint.
100%. And that was another problem we had at that house too. Like, it took forever for things to dry. Smart. Good tip.
I got this little vacuum attachment too to really get in the crevices of my dryer and try to get all the lint. It sucked up $3 worth of quarters. That's fun. You might have some money. Reap the rewards of safety.
That's funny. Yeah. Boy, gals, anything else we should cover about some home fire safety off the top of our heads? I think at the end of the day, follow good fire safety protocols. Keep bedroom doors closed. Have detectors that work, whether they're loud enough or not, we don't know. Check those, test them every month, change the batteries regularly.
They're in every room because you don't want the fire to spread halfway to your house, through your house before you get woken up.
And interestingly enough, the fire, I live in a building, there's like 15 units. It's an old historical registry or whatever kind of building. They had every year, there's an annual fire inspection where they come and test the thing for the building. They also said they were going to be looking in our units. They never came into my unit. It made me think, like, I was figuring that I had a smoke alarm in my bedroom. There's one behind that door that kind of covers these two. Further back is the kitchen and bathroom. All I have is one in my bedroom in front of me, one on the wall right behind me on the other side of that door. There's nothing for the whole half of the house that has most of the burny things. I'm like, I probably need to do something about that because I live here. The building didn't do it. That's another thing. You cannot trust that there are laws and requirements for smoke alarms and CO detectors, especially CO detectors. Those are it's not something we take for granted that it's a requirement. Sometimes it's a requirement, sometimes it isn't. CO detectors are very rarely. This can come down to city or county or neighborhood requirements. Certain building companies might have requirements. There's not a lot of standardization that this stuff is mandated to be in your home to keep you safe if you're a renter. So you have to take responsibility as a renter just as much as if you are the homeowner. Okay, lockbox, put stuff in fireproof containers that it matters that you don't want to burn up. I'm going to try to do a quick hit list of good tips to leave people with.
Going back to just the smoke detectors, choose them carefully. Make sure they have the features you need. Some of them have like strobing lights to also be an indicator. Some of them talk to you and tell you where the fire is in your house.
Mm-hmm. There are different sensors too. So you might want to get, I like the ones with the dual sensor because some are like ionic. So they're measuring like, stuff changing in the air. Some just are detecting smoke. So by the time you're having smoke or fires, there are particles that are going in the air. So there's different ways for those to be detected. I was at a friend's house last week. They were cooking on their stove and a house filled up with smoke. So we will not reveal their name. No smoke alarm went off. Where is your smoke alarm? What's happening? I'm like, you need to check that thing. Like there was one in the other room and it went off all the time. So I just took it off. I'm like, don't do that. I don't know why that one didn't go off. Test it, figure it out, get one that's a dual sensor. That's another thing to pay attention. I think double protection there on detecting potential smoke and fire is worth it.
So this is really random. I have a horse, love of my life. So I'm very aware of barn fires as well. One big thing that causes barn fires is that hay actually catches fire. It's not necessarily because someone was smoking and lit a cigarette. It's because the hay was too wet when it was baled and stored, and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and basically spontaneously combusts. It's rare, but same thing can happen with grass clippings as well. So if you're putting grass clippings in the bin, don't
Pretty
do
much
that.
any kind of compost can start a fire. If you have a
Yeah.
compost bin and you're not turning it over on a regular basis, it can build up gases and combust.
I'm sure all the farmers out there already know it. If you are new to having livestock or whatever, make sure you store your hay away from where your animals stay in a barn. So you can lose the hay. If the hay catches fire, that barn can burn down, but animals are okay. All kinds of other stuff can start fires too, like the heated buckets and everything. It's no good. Also, if you're doing home renovations, be careful about the oil you use and the rags because those can spontaneously combust too. You have to be careful to lay them out outside, let them breathe.
It's shocking how many things can actually spontaneously combust.
It really is.
Have a fire escape plan. Have it.
Yes.
Make sure everyone in your home knows it. Review it. Practice it. It's important.
Unplug your air fryer.
Unplug the air fryer. My stepdad unplugged everything all the time. If it wasn't being used, it was unplugged. He was like, we're basically just wasting electricity. It is sucking juice is happening if it's plugged in, even if it's not turned on. I just thought it was like a cheap advice or a money saving, a frugal advice. There's more to it. It's actually smart on a lot of levels. I actually do that. I like to keep things unplugged. Probably a habit, I guess, that I was taught. I didn't know it was.
Yeah. See, my grandmother taught me to always unplug my toaster. Same dealio.
Is it your mother's?
No, it's not. It's the other
it's coming from both sides.
It's coming from both sides.
Awesome. Anything else?
I was meant for this job.
They probably are so grateful that you have this job. Any last words from the firefighter among us?
I think we've covered it all.
A day.
I would say if you have a tip or something that we didn't think of or that we didn't know about that you want to share, please put that in the comments. If you have a question about something, please let us know. We'll get back to you. Kathy will get back to you for sure. Alina will get back to you. I will try really hard. They're more reliable than me. Thanks for joining us for this little chat about fire home safety. Come back, go to Safewise.com. We have a lot of fire safety articles on there and recommendations for tools and resources. You can find those smoke detectors. You can find that listening in on a security system. You can find a fireproof safe. You can find how to create a fire escape plan. Lots of stuff on there as well.
I've got resources for teaching kids how to do all that too.
Yes, excellent. Very important. So we'll see you next time. Thanks. Stay safe.